When your AC stops working, just call the experts at KS Services Heating and Air. They're fast and affordable. Right now, purchase any Bryant energy efficient system and save with 0% interest for 60 months with approved credit. It comes included with a 5-year labor warranty. And our fair price guarantee means that we will always give you 3 quotes for every situation. A good, better, and best. Call KS Services Heating and Air today. We roll on, whatever it takes.
It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the afternoon edition for Tuesday, the 29th of August. I'm James Spann. Harvey finally beginning to kick out. That means very wet weather for Alabama, the chance of heavy rain at times, a low-end tornado threat. But the weather for the weekend, maybe not that bad. Again, models are definitely trending in the right direction for Labor Day and college football games on Saturday. So let's go in there and discuss all of this. Here we go. We'll start with the water vapor satellite view this afternoon. Broad troughing over the east. Harvey, of course, is sitting on around the southeastern tip of Texas. Check the radar coming out of Mobile at 212. A lot of rain over South Alabama, South Mississippi. Heavier storms approaching the Alabama Gulf Coast. They'll see waves of rain and storms on the Gulf Coast and really statewide through Friday. We got flash flood watches for southeastern Texas, much of Louisiana, South Mississippi, and southwest Alabama. Here's a closer look at those counties in the watch. In Alabama, 3 counties involved. You've got Washington, Mobile, and Baldwin. That is a flash flood watch. A flash flood watch will likely be needed for areas north of there at some point, but so far those have not been issued. In addition to heavy rain, we have the possibility of a few rotating storms on the east side of the circulation center of Harvey. This is the severe weather outlook for the rest of today and tonight. The standard risk includes much of Mobile and Baldwin counties over into parts of southeast Louisiana, South Mississippi. We could see a few isolated tornadoes in that zone this afternoon and tonight. Tomorrow, we have a standard slight risk over southwest Alabama, a marginal risk now for about the western half of the state, roughly from I-65 west, the areas in dark green. Same thing, we could see a few isolated tornadoes in the spiral bands east of the circulation center of Harvey. And on day 3, which is Thursday, same thing, much of the state in a marginal risk. It's basically a low-end tornado threat. We'll have to watch the radar very carefully. Don't think it will be a big problem, but it certainly is a possibility. Now, obviously, a lot of rain on the way. This is the rain for the next 7 days, valid through Tuesday morning of next week. Let's kind of fine-tune this, go down to more detail. This is coming from WPC, and this is the rain directly as a result of Harvey. You got a couple of areas of maximum rain. One is in the Gulf Coast. The areas in orange you see there from Mobile over to Destin. That's 6 to 10 inches. The areas in yellow in South Alabama, that's between 4 and 6 inches. For the northern half of the state, the darker green, that's between 2 and 4. And then the other max is closer to the circulation center around Memphis and parts of western Tennessee. But all of the Deep South should get a good soaking in coming days. So the dual threat of heavy rain, some flash flooding, and a few isolated tornadoes between now and Friday. Here's the forecast track of Harvey. Second landfall south of Lake Charles will likely be tomorrow morning. The remnant circulations comes up through North Mississippi to a point near Nashville Saturday morning, then up into West Virginia on Sunday. And if that's the case, our weekend will be okay, I think, the Labor Day weekend, and we'll take a look at that in just a second. We have a satellite loop. Let's take a look at the visible satellite view. This is the GOES 16. Love this resolution, just stunning. You can see the circulation of Harvey over the far northwestern Gulf. The main convection is displaced from the circulation center. And our second system over there on the Atlantic coast just having a hard time getting its act together. Good old PTCT, Potential Tropical Cyclone 10. Here's the track on that. We've still got a tropical storm warning for the Outer Banks, but that'll be kicking on out into the North Atlantic in coming days. Also watching this. This is Invest 93L in the far eastern Atlantic near the Cape Verde Islands. Look at the modeling on this. You can see that the Clipper, the one that bends it north, that's a statistical model. Throw that out. The dynamic models keep it on a westerly track. This is the GFS ensemble. It shifted a little to the left. In fact, the 12Z run is kind of like the European. In fact, let's look at the European. You can see the members are farther to the south. And really in that position, north of Hispaniola, east of the Bahamas, it can do anything. It can shoot through the Florida Straits, wind up in the Gulf. It could affect the east coast of the United States, or it could recurve out to sea and bother nobody. We just don't know yet. It's way too early in the game. We'll check the intensity guidance, and we don't really see any models ramp this up to a hurricane except for one. Most either keep it as a tropical storm or don't develop this thing at all. But the NHC guys think it will get its act together, so we'll keep an eye on that. But again, we stress it is a long way out there. All right, model fans, let's go through the dailies. This is the GFS, the 12Z run, valid tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Troughing over the northeastern states, Harvey down to the southwest of here should be north of Lake Charles at midday. Just going to be a rainy day. Clouds, rain, will be in the 70s all day. Rain could be heavy at times. And again, there could be some pockets of convection on the western half of the state. We'll have to watch for any areas of rotation. It's kind of a low-end tornado threat. Thursday, Harvey is northeast of Monroe, Louisiana. Same thing, very wet here. Maybe some thunder. The rain could be heavy at times. A low-end tornado threat. Friday, Harvey is near Memphis. Same deal. Rain likely at times. Not going to rain all day, but again, looks fairly wet. Now, some dry air is going to be working in from the west, and the question is, can it dry out by Friday night in the high school football games? It might. It's a possibility, but we sure can't guarantee that. But during the day, Friday looks very wet, and again, we'll have to watch out for the possibility of any isolated rotating thunderstorms, a low-end tornado threat. Now, Saturday, the GFS is trending toward the European. We've kind of thought this all along. It shows dry air moving into North Alabama. Let's go to the European. It's got all of Alabama in dry air. And the European has been performing very well, and we're going to roll with that forecast. You can see if this verifies, Saturday will be dry. College football kicks off. This shows dry conditions for Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, most of Tennessee. And so we'll kind of keep scaling back the chance of rain and mention just a slight chance of a shower. The sky partly sunny. So the news much, much better than 24 hours ago. We'll stick with the European. This is Sunday. Still looks dry. Labor Day. Maybe some showers for the Gulf Coast, but most of Alabama still looking rain-free. So at this point, the Labor Day weekend looking pretty good. Let's go to Tuesday. We'll stand with the European, and it's got a tropical system developing in the western Gulf. Goodness gracious. We don't need that. Let's see where it goes. This is Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. It brings it instead of to Texas up toward the Louisiana coast. And if this is right, Houston would be on the dry side. But look, this is nothing. I mean nothing but voodoo. This might not happen at all. It's just some idea that's on the table. That's all that is. This is not a forecast. But if by chance, if that were to be correct, obviously the middle of next week would be wet here. Here's the end of the forecast period. Back to the GFS. This is Friday of next week, the 8th, troughing to the west. That looks kind of wet. Maybe, again, the GFS hinting at some tropical mischief around the Sabine Pass there. So we'll have to watch the Gulf next week. Numbers, hey, no 90s. In fact, on a number of days, we'll probably see highs in the 70s because of clouds and rain like tomorrow. And lows mostly in the 60s across the board. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this afternoon. We'll have notes in the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can't catch us this evening on ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.
AC broken? Just call KS Services Heating and Air. All Bryant energy-efficient systems come with a 5-year labor warranty, and our fair price guarantee means that we'll always give you 3 quotes for every situation. Just call KS Services Heating and Air today.